Welcome, we are back with another episode of Zero to Hero, Tank Edition. So yeah, I did it again boys, I got addicted to another class, came crawling back to Brewmaster, and completely forgot how to play him. Brewmaster ain't like Warrior, where you can casually watch an OnlyFans raid while tanking a 10. You actually gotta pay attention, or this happens. Alright, let's kick things off with the most embarrassing tanking you've ever seen. On this pull, absolute bot gameplay. I was pressing all the wrong buttons, and honestly, it's a good thing I only play these three characters, because if I threw Paladin and Druid into the mix, it would be game over. Normally, you're a pretty active tank here, no real interrupts, so your job is just to use Detox to cleanse the poisons. Instead, I just stood there watching my teammates' health bars slowly tick down like an auction timer. Even though I forgot my buttons, I still remembered how to play the game, so the bosses weren't too bad. This was the first key in a while, so we took it slow. This was probably the biggest pull I did all dungeon. I've got to get used to my keybinds first before we start to go Giga Chad. Thankfully, the Arakawa bosses aren't too rough. Plus, no more Red Crane to betray us during the suck phase, so I can actually avoid the temptation. I know some of you suggested using Transcendence for that mechanic, but let's be real, I'm struggling to throw my keg. So that mechanic is way too advanced for me right now. We two-chested the two-chested the key, got no loot, but we did find ourselves in a roll situation. Oh, it's a roll? Oh! Hey, 7! Let's go! Hey, yo! Give me that. Yoink! Yeah. Oh, drink it. Boys! We secured our best in slot trinket, and our confidence is back. Now, let's not slow down.
Defensive. Jump 3 times. Defensive.
This is so sketch, bro. Okay, maybe that was a terrible idea. Listen, if you don't throw yourself in the deep end, you're never gonna get better. That's the biggest thing keeping people from tanking. They're scared of dying and getting flamed. But once you learn your routes and know what your class can handle, tanking is hands down the best role in the game. Again, we had a 100% success rate dodging all the frontals, so I thought we were chilling. But then my keybinds betrayed me once again. It turns out I don't have a boss button bound. So instead of clicking discharge anima, I clicked nothing and got bolted straight to the Shadow Realm. Thankfully, we got a quick bat res and recovered the pack. The second boss was free. We had a DK, so I didn't even need to do anything. I also discovered something new. I can use Touch of Death to instantly delete one of the mages. Apparently in higher keys, people just normally paralyze the mob and let the boss consume it. But that's way too advanced for a pug group. The third boss was smooth. My damage was actually pretty solid considering my eye level. Some bosses on Brewmaster are a breeze, but this dude hits heavy. The constant ice shards and the AoE pulsing when his shield is up makes me want to cry. I only had to endure the beating for a little while, and we two-chested the dungeon, and finally received some loot as a thank you for that pounding I just took. I don't really understand my healing on this class. I did some research, but it didn't help much. I usually just take a massive beating and pop Expel Harm to shoot my health bar back up. But this whole stagger mechanic is so strange. Sometimes I'll take barely any damage, like during multi-flurry on the second boss. Normally, this would slap me down, but here, I've not even popped any major defensives and instead, just drinking the pain away. Maybe it's just my healer. This dungeon, I felt like I wasn't taking any damage. I was constantly doing big pulls like this, but felt zero fear. However, let's jump into the next few dungeons. Now this is where the pain begins. Pain that even drinking won't cure. A 9 Necrotic Wake, 1 key level above what we just did. Some people would even argue Grimbatol is harder than Necrotic Wake, but to be fair, on a tank I'm comfortable with, they are both pretty easy. Because he instantly banged the key in, my spider senses were already tingling. So we didn't do the big pull. and that was the best decision I've ever made, because this Vanguard was messing me up. We even almost wiped on the Gatekeeper too. The bags died as soon as the Gatekeeper cast his Shower of Death. To make matters even worse, we lost our 100% success rate of teammates not getting hit by the goddamn frontal. I don't even know what happened in this next pull. Our teammates were doing good damage, so I thought this fight would be over fast, but it dragged on forever. I had the mage in the back blasting me down every 4 seconds, and a necromancer straight out of solo leveling. It felt like I was going toe to toe with Jinwoo himself. Panic set in, and I started slowly moving into the pool, and after dipping my toes in there a few times, I finally drowned. I was having a stinker this game. I even accidentally butt pulled the hardest pack in this dungeon. I thought I pressed my boss button, but instead I offered them a Ring of Peace, which they didn't accept. Every pack felt like I was up against Prime Mike Tyson, but looking back at it, I should have used my defensives more. After getting rezzed, I went to do this pack for percent, but I guess my teammates didn't see and they left me to die.
Hello? Okay.
I was tilted towers at this point, and I just wanted to get the hell out of this dungeon. Like I was saying before, my teammates were doing great damage, so the bosses went down easy. But of course, we still wiped on the final boss. We failed the key and got no loot. Let's jump right into a 9 mist. This was a good dungeon. We had big boy pumpers and a healer. So the first pull, that is normally super scary, went down like a treat. And the double guardians were also pretty easy. Threat was a massive issue in this dungeon, but sometimes I get confused whether someone has ripped aggro or if my chamois put down that annoying ass stone golem. To this day, I still freak out when they put it down. I should probably get a weak aura notifying me when they put this down. Like I said, this dungeon was good, so we cleaned it out pretty fast. We also got no loot, but that's only natural at this point. I just did a 9 Dawnbreaker. It was easy, we 2-chested it. Well, I wasn't recording. Oh my fucking god. It's the first time I've done that. God damn it. These are the stats that we came out with. My bad on that one. I also do it again with a 10 Dawnbreaker. I'm running super low on storage space, so after a dungeon, I stop recording because sometimes these queues can go on for 20 minutes. I somehow got invited to an 11 miss, so let's see how that one goes.
Rental. Collect or stand in circle. Kick. Rental. Kick. Rental. Kick. Rental.
To be fair, I thought I did okay, all things considered. There was an accidental pull which only slowed us down. The key wasn't looking very timeable anyway. The damage was pretty low, and this was because the DK was 599 eye level. Yet, he still almost beat the mage. I know you love watching these opening pulls, so let's run it back once again.
Collect or stand in circle. Here. First. Defensive.
Yeah, that first pack got blasted. Threat was a massive problem in this dungeon. Nearly every pack I did, the DPS was ripping aggro. The positive side of this though, the packs were dying really fast. They also learned after a while to let me get the threat before sending their CDs. I also can't remember if I showed this skip or not in my last video, but you can do it on Monk. We closed out the dungeon with 6 minutes to spare and finally got some loot, but it was useless for us. You already know you're in for a bad time when they instantly put the key in. I'm gonna have to turn into a healer and start healing everyone.
Do a barrel
roll.
Dot.
I accidentally just rolled instead of fucking healing. Oh, can't be arsed. Go to healing.
Stack on 10.
Screw Sea of Threads. Let's do a 9 Grimbatol instead. A viewer told me about skipping these lava benders before the third boss, but it ended up being useless because we pulled them anyway. You already know these mobs messed us up as well. It didn't help that my teammates didn't instantly release, leaving us to throw hands with the 2 deadliest mobs in this dungeon. The final boss isn't too bad on Brewmaster. The tentacles can be annoying, but the tank buster doesn't hurt all that much. You can just take it right to the face and drink the pain away. We ended up getting a whopping 8 IO rating and 0 loot once again. Let's close this episode out with a bang. 11 missed. The opening to this dungeon is everything. So, I'ma let that one play out.
Collect or stand in circle. Run off.
You can go from 100 to 0 on Brewmaster so fast. I blinked and once I opened my eyes, I was dead. We saved the pull, so it wasn't a big deal. We did another clutch save on the very next pull, using Vivify on my healer, saving him from dying, and most likely wiping the entire group. We also got to talk about this rollaway into a Vivify on myself. The first boss got a little bit scary when an overlap of the Fear plus the Swirls came in. The boss also wasn't casting, so we couldn't bring him with us. But when he finally did start casting, no one was interrupting it, so I had to roll back in there and get him myself. We finally knocked down the boss and our teams pumped their hearts out, and we absolutely obliterated the boss. Threat was also an issue. Because they was pumping at the start of pulls, it was hard to generate some threat. So they would rip it instantly and die. I was also getting confused at times because of that damn stone golem, which almost got me killed a few times. The bosses were nice though, but I could never pull big because of the threat management. You really do feel the difference when playing with good people. When they actually listen and stack, this fight goes so much smoother. It's a shame though, we threw it all away on the very last pack. The flies came in and ruined it all. We got a battle res, which again almost took me out, but we drank our trusty Algary healing pot and lived to see another day. We 2-chested our first 11 and our reward was absolutely nothing. No loot once again, of course. Every bit of money that I get from the dungeons is instantly going on repairing from that dungeon. So I need to go and farm. I need to. I got no money. It's official. We are broke on both characters now. I don't even have the time to farm gold, so we stay broke. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, subscribe. If you made it this far, you already know you like the content, so subscribe anyway. Like, comment, all of that good stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.